For this third inning, I'm very pleased with the opportunity to be joined by Stingers pitcher Chris Rofe. Chris, happy to have you on here.
Thanks, Logan. Good to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Have you ever done anything like this before, being in this kind of spot in the booth, watching the game instead of playing it?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm just up here trying not to embarrass myself, to be honest with you.
So this is your second season in Willmar. Of course, you had 2021. What's been your favorite part? It doesn't have to be this year, maybe just 2021.
Definitely my favorite part this year was there was one night in Minot where both their coaches and their pitcher all got ejected at the same time, and we were all just dancing, having a good time. That definitely describes our summer, I think.
That was early in the season, and
Yeah.
it's been a fun team. Of course, more fun when the team's winning, as that one hit out towards shortstop. Kasten Furr makes the easy play for out number one. And, of course, it makes it more fun when the team is winning. What's it like to be a part of this just winning culture here?
Oh, it's amazing. It's definitely not what we had 2 years ago when I was here. I don't think we even made the playoffs that year, so it's definitely better, a lot more of a change, but looking forward to the playoffs and seeing where this team can go.
Speaking of changes, got a new pitching coach, Josh Tetro, coming back here. Of course, very familiar with him in your Mount Marty days. What's it like having him back in the dugout?
Oh, it's great. He's a familiar face for sure. He's a guy who knows a lot about baseball, about pitching, and it's good to have him back. Of course, Mikey was great. We're going to miss him, but I think he's definitely a suitable replacement.
Yeah, and that was kind of an adjustment that had to be made over the past couple of days. Another adjustment, you started the summer in the bullpen for the first half. You moved into the rotation for the past couple starts, of course, listed to start tomorrow. Take me through that process.
So it's not something that I'm completely new to. I did start during the year at school this year, but it was my first full season of starting in college. So it was nice to come back, and I kind of got eased into it out of the pan, and then with the second half, we lost a lot of our starters, so I got an opportunity, and I'm just trying to run with it.
As a nice jumping grab out in third, Aiden Byrne.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
Made a couple nice grabs out at third, and it's 2 quick outs here. So you talked about the move into the rotation. Do you have one you prefer, bullpen, rotation?
So I definitely think that the bullpen's more exciting, but obviously I come here and I want to play a lot, so that's the only way to do that is to pitch. So it's more of a quality versus quantity type situation, but I think that I prefer starting, just throwing more and being more involved in the game. Obviously I got to build up my endurance a little bit, but I prefer to start for sure.
Have you had a favorite game? It doesn't even have to be here in Willmar, maybe even Mount Marty as well.
Oh, favorite game? Yeah, we probably Mount Marty, game 1 of the playoffs this year. I got to start that game and got to break the school record for strikeouts in the single season.
Yeah.
So that was probably a highlight of my career in general, since we can talk about college. Highlight for the Stingers, probably opening night, getting the save and kind of getting thrown into the fire a little bit. First game and full crowd. It was very fun.
Yeah, how about that opening night game? The Express were coming back into it. You come in trying to get this first win of the season on a team that would eventually win so many games, and come in, get all those big outs. Must have been huge, as that one going to be roped into the left field gap. That could be extra bases on Tyler White. And now we're going to take a long turn around first, and he'll stop there with a single. It's the first hit of the day for the Rochester Honkers. Hunter Magnuson been cruising to that point and going to give up a first hit right there. So we talked about Mount Marty a little bit, talked about the Stingers. We'll move back over to Willmar for a little bit. Of course, with the team 2 years ago, what are some of the main differences from that team you were on 2 years ago to this team now?
I think the culture's a lot closer this time. We had a lot of guys last year, 2 years ago, who were coming and going. Obviously, we've lost guys this year, but I think for the most part, at least all of our position guys have stuck around. So the team is a lot more close than it was, I think, 2 years ago, and that's probably helped to us winning a lot of games as well.
So you've been with the team a lot longer this year than 2 years ago. Anyone you've gelled with more in particular?
Yeah, obviously I always gel better with the pitchers. Oh, there we go, Dre.
As Dre Dirksen lining that one up on the dugout to make the grab for out number 3. We'll have more on that. You want to come back in the bottom half?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. We'll have more in the bottom of the third on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. Happy to be joined another half inning by Stingers pitcher and Chris Rofe as Kasten Furr comes on to lead things off in the 9th. Furr swings and misses at the first pitch. And Chris, before we went into break in the top half, talked about some of the relationships on this Stingers team. said you gel more with the pitchers?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, they're the same position as me. We spend all the day together, all that stuff. But it was kind of frustrating when they all left at around the 4th of July, but definitely gelling with the new guys just as well. So,
as Furr almost beats out the infield single. Nice throw from Kraska on at third for out number 1. And this whole season's just been a lot of fun so far, and you got to have some fun a couple days ago on the field in between innings doing what has become very popular here during these games of the intern dance. You and Tyler Bryan did that. Take me through that process.
Yeah, so obviously the intern dance, they do it every game, I think in the 4th inning, and it just kind of been a whole year leading up to it. Tyler and I had talked about how, they just needed something more. Look, I'm not going to be mean. It was a good dance, but we just kind of thought how fun it would be to get out there. And early on I told Tyler around his last game, because I knew he was going to leave early. So I told him, all right, your last game, I'll do it with you. And he ended up leaving on Saturday, so we did it Friday. I'll admit I got very cold feet. I pitched in front of the same crowd many times, bigger crowds sometimes this year, but boy, dancing is just another beast. So, but it was fun. It was really fun. All the guys were supportive in the dugout, and they were all cheering for us as we went. Tommy, I went back and watched the broadcast, and I heard Tommy wasn't a fan of my endurance, but it was funny. It was good fun.
It's different endurance when it comes to the intern dance than, I guess, being on the mound. The first and only players to be a part of the intern dance. Did you have any, I guess, dancing experience prior to that as Soika bounces that one foul?
Absolutely not. We got a video of the dance, and during BP on Friday morning, we were out in the outfield phoning the glove. So sorry, Freddie, but we had our phones out there phoning the glove, practicing it during BP, and then we came back in, and I think I pitched Thursday night, so I wasn't warming up or anything. I took the day off on Friday, so we practiced it a couple of times in the dugout while the guys were warming up. And I think the biggest key was we wrote notes on our wrists, wrote down all the dance moves, so that helped. If you watch the broadcast back,
that's what you were looking at.
Yeah, I had a little note card in my attached to my watch because I just didn't trust myself, and I'm glad I did because I got out there and I completely forgot it. So.
Hey, it went well on the broadcast, and all the fans seemed like they enjoyed it as well, as Stingers down to their final out here in the third. In case this is the last question we have, slated to start tomorrow against a very good St. Cloud team, what's the mindset going into it? Because they're first in the Great Plains West right now.
I just want to keep doing the same thing I've been doing. Obviously, there's areas to improve. Walk numbers have been up, so I'm just trying to execute every pitch. I think it's an easy job. The catcher tells me what to throw. Where to throw it, so I think the main focus is just going to be on executing that, hitting the glove with all the pitches, and I think I should be fine. It's the first time I faced them, I think. Maybe I relieved. I think I might have had one inning out of the pen, but no, they're a good team, and it'll be a good challenge.
Have you had, I guess, a tough appearance so far, like one that you would say would like stack as one of the hardest teams you had to face so far this summer?
Obviously, out of the pen, it's tough because I only throw an inning or two, so it's tough to figure out, but I think even Minot, they're lower down in the order for the standings, but I think I pitched against them last Thursday, and they put up 4 runs in 4.1 innings, so they're a good offense.
They got some good power hitters, and Fitzer showcasing his power on that one. He's on his way to second, as that one going to be not even close. It's a stand-up double for Kevin Fitzer. He showcased his power over the past couple days.
If I'm being completely honest, the one team I don't want to face is ours. Like, Kevin Fitzer does that again. Now you got to face Dre in the box and Rimmer's on deck. Like, I don't think anyone stacks up to our offense. So I'm just glad to be on the Stingers, not pitching against them.
It's totally fair. They're towards the top of the league in most hitting categories. Is there a hitter on this team that you would, I guess, be the most afraid to face?
Oh boy, all of them. Probably Fitzer or Dre. Honestly, Fitzer or Dre. Fitzer, when he got here, he was really hot, and I don't know what his stats are like, but he's hot. Dre's, there we go, 336 with 5 home runs, and he only got here quarter of the way through the season. So that's definitely another guy I don't want to face.
So we'll see if that guy can bring home another run for the Stingers, trying to add on. And, of course, this team heading back to the playoffs, something that you mentioned that 2021 team didn't get the chance to do. What was the feeling like when you guys clinched?
We were excited. It was a bit of a relief. Obviously, we kind of knew we had the best record. We knew it was coming up, but those last couple of games, I know we lost a couple where we could have clinched. We lost one in I don't remember who we were playing, but it was like we could have clinched and we lost. And so it was honestly a bit of a relief because we knew we'd been playing well and it was good that we could, okay, we've clinched the playoffs, now we can just go back to playing our baseball freely. And it looks like it's worked. I mean, we lost 3 to start the second half, and then since then we won 6 in a row before we lost yesterday.
Yeah.
So obviously the relief of qualifying has definitely loosened us up and we're playing well again.
Is there something you're like most looking forward to come playoff time? I know it's a grind. I know it's a quick turnaround.
I mean, look, I want to pitch. Obviously, every pitcher wants the ball, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Obviously, it'll be good to watch these guys in the playoffs, but I'm looking forward to whenever Freddie gives me the ball and I can go out and do my thing.
And this is a team that's still looking for its first Northwoods League championship. You could have a chance to be part of that as well as we kind of get close to playoff time. Dirksen down in the count 1-2. This one hit out towards shallow right. That one will hook just foul. And when you bring up the Northwoods League, of course, it is a grind, but so is college baseball. Is there any real difference between playing in Mount Marty, playing for the Stingers?
Absolutely. I think at Mount Marty, like, we obviously practice during the week every day, but it's a little different when you only play on the weekends. You've got 4 or 5 days to look forward to it and then prepare yourself. You know, all right, we're playing this Saturday. I've got to be prepared Friday. You got back. Whereas the Northwoods, it's day in and day out. You come here and this morning it was 95 degrees when we got here at 3 o'clock. It's a much longer day. Like, we're here from 3 to 11 every single day. Whereas at college it's more like lighter workloads through the week. You get time to prepare before you play on the weekend.
As Kraska trying to make the final out and does just that to keep the Stingers scoreless in the bottom of the third. Chris, thank you so much for joining me for this inning. Very happy to have you on. We'll take a quick little break. Tommy, words on play-by-play on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. Second inning on its way in Willmar, Minnesota. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by 5 Tool Ale, the official beer of the Northwoods League. Look for 5 Tool Ale at select league ballparks or find 5 Tool Ale festival food stores in Wisconsin. Remember to drink responsibly, designate a driver, and get home safe. And I'm very pleased with the opportunity to be joined this inning by special guest, a former Stinger, and Kenny Roberts. Kenny, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Well, glad to be a part of this, man. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. So how does it feel just being back here?
Oh, it feels awesome. I spoke to the guys earlier today and told them, you know, to just cherish the moment because it flies by. You know, I look up, spent the season here in 2012, and 11 years passed, and now I'm back. So it does feel pretty good. It's actually pretty special. So.
As Cam Kaufman flew out to Kevin Fitzer to open up the inning. So you mentioned you spoke to the players earlier today. What did it mean to have the opportunity to be able to talk and give wisdom to those guys?
Oh, it meant everything. Well, first, it means a lot just being back, being asked to come back, especially with my family and everything. But it felt special to talk to those guys, to just let them know, hey, 11 years ago, I was in the same shoes that you were. And looking back on it, you know, I thought I was doing everything that I needed to do to prepare myself for the next level, but you're never really doing it. So you always have to cherish the moment you're in, be present, put forth the effort. And, you know, I just wanted to share that with them. And it's pretty cool to see those guys, especially some guys from, you know, like guy from Alabama, Luke Williams. It's cool to see him and, you know, play at the same school that I played in. He's in pretty much the same boat as I am, so it's cool.
As the next hitter in Carson Evans hit by the pitch and the Hot Tots have a runner on. So you talked about 2012. Let's reflect on that a little bit. When you look back at your time as a Stinger, you mentioned a little bit ago, over a decade, what kind of comes to mind when you take a look at that season?
The trips with the guys, being, you know, 13, 14 hours away from home and coming up here not knowing anybody, but getting to know a group of guys as well as my coaches, Ryan and Mark, the organization, everything about it was pretty cool. And if you know, like anything, traveling on a bus, playing the sport you love with some guys, some dudes, it's cool. You know, that was very special. And we also won a bunch of games, you know.
That always helps.
Yeah, that always helps. We won a good bit of games, had a run in the playoffs and ended up losing to Mankato. But other than that, it was pretty cool.
Evans able to advance to second on a wild pitch. And you talk about going on the road of course, a lot of great places, not just now, but even then. Do you have a favorite place you went to?
Yes. I spoke on this earlier, actually. I'm glad you asked. It was Mankato. They're the Moondogs, right?
Yeah,
Is that it?
still are.
So, they were a very, very good team. As you know, they're the ones that put us out of the playoffs. But for whatever reason, when we played there, when they played here, as a team, we always kind of rose to the occasion because we knew that they were good. They had some good arms. They had some good hitters. They were all around pretty good program. But when we played there, man, it was different. It was like a whole different level of focus that I had just because of the atmosphere and knowing that they're good. And I kind of developed not a hate for them, but a challenge to where I want to beat them every time I played them. You know what I mean?
Just rising to the occasion against the rival.
That's it. That's the rival, yep.
As the Stingers able to get the second out of the inning, striking out Christian Perez. So does a lot of that come playing in the SEC, playing in Alabama?
Yeah, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Does a lot of that kind of come playing in Alabama, SEC environment?
Yes. My first year at Bama was a challenging year. Kind of had a rough time adapting to the speed of the game. But I was able to overcome that and learn a good bit of it and bring some of that here to Willmar. But playing those guys, SEC caliber guys on a daily basis, man, it's the ultimate challenge. You're facing guys every weekend that are, first and second rounders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a hitter, you're facing the best of the best from the pitching standpoint. So you always want to rise to the occasion and prove that you deserve to be there. So it was definitely something that I was able to bring here to Willmar.
Of course, it's more of the same in the Northwoods League here as that one cranked on, but it goes just foul to the left side. So that 2012 team, the first Stingers team to make the playoffs, and now the Stingers kind of turning into a consistent playoff team this year going there as well. What did it mean to kind of be a part of that history?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. Like I said, we had a great group of guys. We bonded, pretty much from day one when we first, came together for our first team meeting, had an introduction and all that good stuff. And honestly, man, I was able to play with some dudes. I played with Hunter Dozier.
Yeah.
He played some pro ball. Michael Suki, they played Forrest all day, just to name a few. I played with some guys, and those guys just got after it every day, and it was easy to kind of, feed off that and get behind them and do the same thing.
That one chopped up the middle. Byrne making the play in time for out number 3. The Stingers able to bounce back and get out of the second inning. Kenny Roberts, want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. Of course, busy one you threw out the first pitch. Happy you could spend some time here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be back and looking forward to a Stinger win tonight.
We'll be back in the Northwoods League Baseball Network.